So you're ready for the session, right, Nischay?
Yes, sir.
You did that exercise, that mirror exercise, mirror activity.
So today I didn't need it.
Oh, you don't need it. Wow, that's a good one. That's in very good news. So how was your day, Nischay? How it was over last 23 hours, ever since we attended the last session?
Good, sir.
Mhm. So what did we discuss yesterday?
Yesterday we mainly focused on four things, uh, which are unconscious incompetence,
Mm-hmm.
unconscious competence,
Mm-hmm.
conscious incompetence, and conscious competence.
Yeah. So what is the order? What is the invert order it's supposed to come?
Um, I think it's unconscious incompetence,
Correct.
conscious incompetence,
Correct.
conscious competence,
Correct.
and unconscious competence.
Superb. And you got complete clarity about it, right?
Yeah.
Good. And how we simplified it?
We simplified into just, I think knowing, realizing, understanding,
Knowing, understanding, realizing,
and getting.
getting. Correct. Kurg. Kurg.
Yeah.
So knowing, understanding, realizing, and getting. And you're absolutely clear about it now, right?
Yeah, I think.
You think? Okay. So if you think that you're not clear about it, you just go and teach somebody. That's the
Um,
best way. How we learn in two steps normally. The
mm,
first step is all about getting the knowledge.
yeah.
So once you got the knowledge, that is the knowing part. So it's like knowing and understanding. So
Mm,
knowing and understanding is already there now. So yesterday you know it, today you are at understanding stage. So that we could record both the way of looking at it. And now when you make an attempt to teach it to somebody, to telling somebody what this is all about, there you will realize that what is missing.
mm,
Where are the gaps? Where are the loopholes that needs to plug?
okay.
And then when you teach it to somebody, you start getting it. And
Mm,
once you do it a few more times, when you teach it to 3 people, 4 people, 7 people,
yeah.
then you become that way.
Mm,
And then you don't need to struggle to remember it.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
superb. And the day before we focused on well-formed outcomes. Basically, we are focusing on smart goal setting.
Mhm.
You remember that as well, right? Smart goal setting. I can't hear you, Nischay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I don't know.
I don't know what is.
You're having some audio issues.
I don't know. I'm speaking, but it seems like you aren't able to hear me.
Yeah, so I was not able to hear you sometimes. Okay, fine. So the day before we discussed about smart goal setting,
Yes.
and you remember that everything.
At least I remember the full form of SMART.
Okay, what's that?
Specific for S, measurable for M, achievable for A, relevant for R, and time for T.
Time bound, yes. And in the relevance part, there are two parts. Sorry, in the achievable part, there are two parts.
One is will and other is can.
Yeah. And what is can?
Can is basically what we how do I phrase it?
Capabilities. Can is all about capabilities.
Capabilities. Okay.
As simple as that. So capabilities, so whatever you are capable of, that's perfectly all right. And whatever you are not capable of is an outcome of your limiting beliefs. There are certain
Mhm.
beliefs which tells you that you are not capable of doing this because you have never done it in the past. Or even if you have done it in the past, since you haven't practiced it, so you are still not capable of doing it.
Yeah.
That's what the limiting beliefs do. We'll have a wonderful session on limiting belief. What I will do, I will also share a video with which I recorded some time back in when I actually started this whole coaching business. So I will share that beautiful video with you, which will
Okay.
a wonderful story about limiting beliefs. We really love it.
Hmm.
And then we focused on the will part. So what is the will part?
Will is basically my mental capability to assure myself that I can do it.
Yeah, will is our external factors.
Hmm.
Okay. Can is our capabilities. Can is all about capabilities. C for capability.
Okay.
Will is all external factors. Other factors which may come in your way and may stop you from achieving your desired outcome.
Hmm.
Clear? थोड़ा सा रिवीजन हो
Yeah.
गया. You must always also review the master class. उसको एक बार जरूर देख लेना because we have pointed out some specific information. If possible, just review that once, maybe at 1.5x or 2x speed.
Okay. I'll see.
Yeah, जब भी मौका मिले एक बार उसको जरूर देख लो. Now, uh, coming today, before I go into today's session, I just want to congratulate you that you have eventually registered for this program, and that too as an extraordinary divine angel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you know what is your responsibility as an extraordinary divine angel?
What, sir?
What is your responsibility? What is expected of you as you have registered as an extraordinary divine angel? What is expected of?
Attending every single class.
Yes, attending every single session from beginning to end,
Yes.
at least till the duration of the session. That if the session is for 30 minutes, 39 minutes, you have to complete the 39 minutes. And
Hmm.
what's the reward you are going to get out of it?
150. I think that
195. 190.
195. Yeah.
So today is the fourth session. So you have already recovered 195 into 3.
Hmm.
Okay. It's actually a very powerful game. And I love to play this game with those who really make that commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what happens that you make me committed to be there. Yeah. So sometimes what I also do with in such cases is I just say, oh, that, okay, if you come before I come, then I will pay that extra for you. So there will be another 195 from my side. Unless and until I all inform you in advance that I will start the session late.
Hmm.
ठीक है तो
But
अगर
sir,
आपको
like
नहीं.
I can't join before you join, I think, because you're the
Yeah,
host.
yeah, because I'm the host. So you will be always at that edge. You can take advantage of it. Like you can make myself busy with something else so that I don't join the session on time. You can do those tricks. I don't know how you can do those tricks, but if you can do those tricks, then you get that advantage of gaining that extra 195. Okay.
Yeah. Sir,
Good.
I thought according to your message, someone else is also joining us.
Yeah. So I don't know whether that person will be joining or not. So, but anyway, he's attending the reviewing the recordings.
Hmm.
So normally he is available on weekends. So weekday, maybe I don't know whether he will be able to make it or not. But he didn't promise that. He said that okay, you just consider that I will be there. But if I am not there, I will be listening to the recorded sessions.
Hmm.
Okay, so that commitment is also there from his side. So he is doing everything for. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So and I'm expecting some more people to join us. Oh, see, he's here. Sumit is here. So
Hmm.
bolte bolte Sumit aa gaye. Super. So we have a full-fledged team right now. Good. So today, what we are going to discuss is something very, 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 very interesting. This is the foundation of NLP. All right. So, okay, before I get into the session, let me just take a quick view from Jessica as well as Sumit. That how was your last 23 hours after you attended the session yesterday, or even after you explored the recordings of yesterday's session? Just 1 minute each.
हेलो पिनाकी जी।
हेलो, कैसे हैं?
बढ़िया सर। आपने क्या क्वेश्चन पूछा सर? एक मैं हॉस्पिटल में बैठा हूँ, असल में इट इज माय वर्किंग टाइम।
ओके ओके ओके। कल का जो सेशन था हमने जो शेयर किया था, आज इफ यू हैव वॉच्ड दैट वीडियो देन आई वुड जस्ट लाइक टू लिसन फ्रॉम यू दैट how was your life in last 23 hours?
ओके, बेस्ड ऑन दैट वीडियो।
Yeah, if you have watched it, if you watched yesterday's session.
नो, आई हैव नॉट सीन एक्चुअली।
Okay. So
yesterday
my
busy in the poll results and all that.
yes.
Hmm.
You know, since I being the host of many programs, I didn't have that luxury to watch the poll results. So, so I just got one opportunity because that person said that आज मुझे थोड़ा सा टाइम दे दो, आधा घंटा, can we join after half an hour? I said okay, put that in. This I am also getting half an hour for me to watch the poll results. So that was that half an hour window we got to.
Actually, in the morning, I was busy in conducting a session in school for the teachers on goal
Okay.
setting.
Super.
And day before yesterday, I had conducted online session on that. And
Yeah.
the principal sir of that school watched that, and he invited me immediately next day for the physical session for the teachers.
Wonderful. Super. Okay.
They-
And Jessica, how was your day last 23 hours?
Yeah, it was good. I haven't watched the recording yet. I will do it today.
Cool. Super. So let's proceed with today's session. And today we will be discussing the most interesting part of NLP, which is the foundation of NLP. And let me share the screen. So here we go. So all of you can see the screen, right?
Yes. Yes.
Superb. Superb. So Nischay, this is primarily for you because you are seeing it for the first time. Others have seen it earlier also. Yeah. So listen to this carefully. This is the foundation of NLP, foundation of Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It is foundation of how you and I program our subconscious without even knowing about it. Yeah, this is exactly what you and I do. The only thing is that you and I are not aware of it. And the first thing in this list is, in this table, is sensory awareness. Sensory awareness. What comes to your mind when you hear this word sensory awareness, Nischay?
I don't know. Like it doesn't. Nothing comes into my mind.
Okay, you said you will not be using these three words. That's what we discussed yesterday, right?
Yes.
That's a trap. So do not allow yourself to get into that trap. ठीक है, सबकॉन्शियस के पास ये मैसेज किसी भी हालत में जाना नहीं चाहिए, आई डोंट नो. Okay, so what you can say that, wow, this is so interesting, I am seeing it for the first time. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever you don't know, you should respond to it with this statement: wow, this is so exciting, I'm seeing it for the first time. Will you say a little bit more about it? Will you share a little bit more about it? I want to know a little more about it. I'm really excited to know what it is all about. So that's the impression you should give your subconscious at any given point of time when you discover that you are encountering something which you are not even aware of.
Yeah.
Got that? Got that?
Mhm.
So, my question is, what do you think it could be all about? What could be sensory awareness be all about? Whatever comes to your mind, just share it, because something is coming to your mind, something, some meaning is automatically this subconscious is making out of it. What could be that meaning?
Maybe like sensory awareness basically like, does something with my senses.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then
And I will be like more aware to that.
exactly. So what are the senses you have?
Touch, taste, what?
And there are five of them, right?
Smell.
Five of them. So it will start with, you always start with V. V is visual. Okay. Visual is the element. Visual is that part of our body or that part of our input system where we collect most of the information. Maximum information is collected by the visual part, eyes. Okay. So visual. After visual, it's auditory. Auditory sense. After auditory, it's skin, the feelings. After feelings, it comes the smell, olfactory. Then comes the taste, which is gustatory. And then there is a sixth one. And according to NLP, the sixth one is making sense of senses. If when you combine all these things, the sense that would experience at that point of time is that sixth sense. It's like, for example, you are watching a movie, for example. So when you're watching a movie, you're seeing the visual part of it, you're seeing the auditory part of it. There may be some dialogues which are sensational dialogues. So you're also feeling about it. There may be something, some food is being served over there that looks pretty tasty. So you can even experience the taste of it. For example, say it's a watermelon. So you know that these are watermelon tastes. And then probably there is biryani also served. So you know that this is the smell of the biryani. Or maybe a flower, maybe a rose, maybe a jasmine. So you know that this is how it smells. And the combination of all these five senses, the data which you are collected with all these five senses, it creates another sense out of that. And that is called making sense of senses, and that is the sixth sense as per neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, so that is making sense of senses. So sensory awareness is all about applying these senses to collect information that you need to collect. And when you collect this information, you move to the next step, which we call calibration, to figure out where I stand. So what are the data points I have? Like when we solve a question in mathematics, when we apply our thoughts to address a challenge in mathematics in the exercise. So the question is there. So the step one is you write down what you have, what data points you already have, and then you write down what data points you need to figure out. So check out what are the inputs are there. And based on those inputs, now you work on the formulas that you have to apply those formulas, put those data in those formulas, and get the output. So getting this information, the what I have is called calibration.
It's called
Okay,
calibration.
calibration. Yeah. So we are calibrating what information I have, where I am.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
for example, say it says that 10 mangoes cost 10 rupees. How much 15 mangoes will cost? So now you have two data points. One data point is 10 mangoes. Second data point is 10 rupees. And there is also a third data point, which is 15 mangoes. Now you need to work out the cost of it. So now we are calibrating. How we are calibrating? That okay, if 10 mangoes cost 10 rupees, then how much will one mango cost? That is the calibration part.
Okay.
As you calibrate it, now you know how to come out with the outcome, where the outcome is what is the cost of 15 mangoes.
Mm.
So sensory awareness is exactly all about collecting the data points and moving to the next step, which is calibration, to discover where I stand now. what I have, what data points I already have, based on that to get to the root of it. That's what calibration is all about. Okay.
Okay.
So that's sensory awareness. So the first step, the first component of NLP is sensory awareness. Okay. The next one is outcome orientation. Outcome orientation means what I want to achieve. What is the result I want to achieve? That's what is outcome orientation. So like the result that I need to achieve is what is the cost of 15 mangoes. So we have 3 data points. That cost of 10 mangoes is 10 rupees, and I have to calculate the cost of 15 mangoes. So this is the sensory awareness. Outcome orientation is what is the cost of 15 mangoes. So it has to be absolutely clear. That's why when we were discussing about smart goal setting, this outcome orientation is the most important part of it, because that goal is the outcome of all the efforts that you are going to put in. Can you see the connection now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So effective goal setting or smart goal setting is all about the outcome orientation. This is the outcome where I want to reach. And you are applying S, M, everything to figure out the data points, to collect the data points and to calibrate where am I am now. The third one is the most interesting part of it, the most powerful pillar. And this pillar is all about what behavioral flexibility you need to bring in to achieve the outcome that you're looking forward to. Okay. So let me put it in a very simple way, how this what behavioral flexibility is all about. Now you learned how to calculate the cost of 15 mangoes, given that the cost of 10 mangoes is 10 rupees. Now, when you are sitting in an exam, you get another question which says that cost of 7 apples are 21 rupees. What is the cost of 14 apples? Or maybe what is the cost of 10 apples? The question looks same, right?
Yeah.
So what is the behavioral flexibility that we're bringing here?
Just the values we adjust.
Yes. That's it. There it was 10 for 10. Here it is 21 for 7. Yeah. So process is same. You just need to calculate it in a way such that you get the result that you are looking forward
to. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like that. Since it was 10 of 10, now you are given 7 and 3 and you're wondering what to do. Yeah. So that is the behavioral flexibility is all about. Now, this is exactly what we apply in our real life also. For example, first time when you crossed a road, first time in your life, whatever was your age at that time, maybe 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, 3 years. But definitely there was one day when you crossed the road for the first time on your own. Somebody was holding your hand. That's a different thing. But you crossed that road for the first time. Okay?
Okay.
Now, whoever was holding your hand, that person was actually teaching you how to cross a road.
Yeah.
So if it is in India, then you need to look on the right side first. And if there is no vehicle on the right side, then you move midway. Then you look on the left side. And if there is no vehicle on the left side, then you move the rest of the road. And that's how you go to the other side of the road. That's the process in India we follow to cross a road. Subject to the condition that people are driving following the discipline. Okay, but that's the rule. That's the process. Okay, now this is what you learn when somebody actually holding your hand. So when somebody was holding your hand, you were not even paying any attention to that. because you know that even if you make a mistake, that person will hold your hand, he will pull you or she will pull you.
Yes.
You had that faith, right? Now there was one day when you need to cross that road on your own. There is nobody to hold your hand. That is the time you applied your behavioral flexibility. And eventually you cross the road. The biggest behavioral flexibility is that now I am on my own, so I have to take my own decision. I have to make my own choices. Whether I will put my first step forward or not, it depends on me now. It's not depends on the other person whose hand I was used to hold earlier.
Yes.
So you apply your behavioral flexibility. Probably you were a little nervous, but eventually you cross the street. You started with small lanes, then you move to broader roads, then you move to expressways, and nowadays now you can just cross the road anyway.
Yes.
But every time you cross the road, you have to apply your behavioral flexibility because it's not the same. The traffic is not the same every time. It's not the same bus or the same truck or the same cycle or the same scooter, the same motorcycle or the same rickshaw is coming.
Yes.
Yeah. In Indian roads, even cows are also there. They are also part of the traffic. I don't know what's it in Poland. You're in Poland right now, so I don't know what's it in Poland. But in India, of course,
Yeah.
cows and buffaloes, the cattle is also part of the traffic. The dogs or street dogs are also part of the traffic. Yet you are capable of crossing the road.
Yes.
That's behavioral flexibility is all about. Behavioral flexibility is all about moving from this side of the street to that side of the street, moving from here to there. Whatever is need, whatever you require is something that you need to apply so that you can actually cross the road. And this in NLP is explained by three beautiful words. And these three beautiful words are whatever it takes. You applied your sensory awareness, you collect the data points, you calibrate it, what you need to do, what steps you need to do, how many steps you may be required to cross the street depending on the width of the street, depending on the traffic on the street, depending on other weather conditions, depending on the road conditions. So you are collecting all those data points, whether you are crossing the street on a crossway or you are crossing the street somewhere midway. It all function of that. These are all data points that you are collecting using all your sensory awareness, your visual, your auditory, your previous experiences, your feelings. Like if it's the weather, then feelings also come in, right? Because you can only sense the weather through your feelings, through your skin. And there could be some beautiful smell in the air. There may be something else. Maybe a beautiful girl is standing on the other side. So you're looking at that girl also. Okay. Now, so all these things are factors. So you're considering those factors and you're calibrating.
Yes.
And once your calibration is done based on that situation, and you know that only outcome orientation is to cross the road and reach there, now you are applying the behavioral flexibility to ensure that you reach on the other side of the road. This is the process you apply when you have to cross the road and you have no other choice.
Yes.
That is what whatever it takes is all about. Or you can also say no matter what. But whatever it takes is more powerful than no matter what. Okay. So these two three word phrases are extremely powerful. Okay. So like it's like whatever it takes is all about will. For example, you ask somebody to do something. You say that, can you get me a glass of water? The person might say yes. And now you are waiting for 10 minutes and that person didn't drink water for you. Now you are getting irritated. So you ask that person, yeah, I asked you, can you get me a glass of water? You said yes. So he will say yes. Then he said, but you haven't yet brought it for me. So that if that person has done NLP, he will ask you, but you didn't say, will I get a glass of water for you or not? You just asked about my capabilities. And I say, yes.
Can
said,
you?
exactly. So that person will say that I am not at fault. So you cannot blame me. You asked me, can you? You didn't ask me, will you? Can is not equal to will. Just a sec, just a sec, just a sec, just a sec. And now, when will factor is there, now what is important is that even after 10 minutes, you can ask that person that you said you will get me a glass of water, but I'm still waiting. So that person may ask you, but you didn't say when. You just say, will I? You asked me, will you? I said, yes, I will. But you didn't tell me when to bring that water for. That's a lawyers ask questions in a court. They use NLP left, right, and center. There are certain movies, if you watch them, these movies are full of NLP. Full of NLP. Even the writers who write scripts for those movies, they are experts in NLP. So that's how they write all those scripts. So let me come back here. So whatever it takes is something when you ask something very specific to get a very specific outcome. For example, say you are asking somebody to meet you somewhere. You say that I am going to watch a movie. Would you like to come with me? That person may say, yeah, I will. Now you can take a confirmation from that person by saying, like, you mean to say whatever it takes, you will be there, right? Now this is the question which that person will be answering yes only when he is 100% confirmed that he is going to be there or she is going to be there. So that way you can take a commitment from people, including yourself, whatever it takes. Even the most important part is that when somebody says that, okay, I will try. So if a person asks or gives any answer by saying, I will try, basically what he's saying is, don't count me.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can catch that person. So you mean to say you will try or like whatever it takes. So that way you can take a confirmation.
It's like talking to a computer. You have to talk to people like that.
Yeah. If you want to get certain things but done by some people, somebody, or see, this is very important in maintaining or building beautiful, powerful, strong relationships. Where you are actually creating a clarity in communication. Like you said, that I said on the very first day that NLP is all about a journey from confusion to clarity in all areas of your life.
Yeah.
So when somebody is saying, I will try, that's a confusion part. This try is equal to nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. However, when the person says, okay, whatever it takes, I will be there, that is something. That's what clarity is all about. Similarly, no matter what is also gives exactly the similar kind of experience.
Yes.
So you can take a promise from somebody by simply asking this three word phrase, whatever it takes. And you can do it this way also, like if anyone is okay, say I will try. So you can say, oh, so like you mean to say whatever it takes, right? You are asking that person what did he mean by whatever he is saying. आप उसी को पूछ रहे हो instead of you assuming the meaning. Okay, you know what is full form of assume? ASSUME. What happens when you assume something?
It's mostly not true.
Now let me tell you what happens when you assume something and you are not certain about it. What happens when you assume something? Assume contains 4 words. 6 letters, but 4 words. ASS is the first word. The second word is you. The third word is me. And there's a word which comes in between you and me, which is and. That and is hidden. So assume means as, you, and me. It's like making an as of you and me. That's what assume is all about.
Yeah.
You got that? You got that? It's actually as simple as that, and it's actually as real as that. Whenever you are assuming something, that means there is no basis. Assumption is purely an assumption. That means you really do not know whether that is true or not. You really do not know whether that exists or not. So whenever you are making an assumption, when you are saying I assume this, you are actually making an as of you and me. Okay, so always make sure that your outcome orientation, the outcome that you are visualizing, that should not be an assumption. That should be something specific and measurable.
Yes.
Can you see the connections?
Mm.
How these three are connected?
Yeah.
So your outcome, when your outcome orientation is specific and measurable and realistic as well, and time bound as well, and can achievable as well, and will achievable as well, you are going to make it happen. That's it.
Yes.
This behavioral flexibility comes only in that part of this smart goal setting or smart goal getting, where we are talking about the attainability or achievability part of it. If you don't have that capability, you need to bring that capability. Either you do it yourself or you outsource it, but you still need to get it. So you need to apply behavioral flexibility in achieving as on a scale of 0 to 10, achieving 10 in both for capability and both for willability. So can should be also on a scale of 0 to 10, can should be at 10, only then you can achieve it. Even will should be also 10 on a scale of 0 to 10, only then there is a possibility that you will achieve it. Behavioral flexibility is being applied only in these 2 areas of achieving a goal. Make sense? I can't hear you, Nischay. So does
I
this
said
make
yes.
sense? You said yes. So take it. So, probably your computer is also learning NLP right now. So Sometimes it is also going the silence mode. That, oh my
Hmm.
God. Like it is actually thinking that do I operate that way? Yeah. So your CPU, the central processing unit, is the subconscious mind.
Yes.
So now you see the connection, like sensory awareness is to collect the data points and calibrate. Outcome orientation is the result that I want to achieve, the outcome that I want to achieve, which should be specific, which should be measurable, which should be time bound, and it has to be realistic as well. And the behavioral flexibility that I need to bring in to achieve that outcome is to ensure that the attainability, the two components of attainability, which is can and will, should be at 10.
Yes.
Only then it is possible that you can achieve that outcome. And these three things, these three pillars of NLP. So now you can understand the pillars, right? They're actually the pillars.
Hmm.
And to keep these pillars together, there's a glue, and this glue is called Rapport. Tomorrow we will work on Rapport.
Okay.
What Rapport is all about. Okay. So fundamentally, Rapport is all about meeting the person where they are, or like meeting the problem where it is, getting to the source, like collecting that data and reaching that calibration point.
Hmm.
That is what fundamentally Rapport is all about. And then you need to have a connection with the outcome orientation also, where you have to have complete rapport with the outcome, that it is specific, it is measurable, it is realistic, it is time bound, and it is achievable as well. And whatever
Hmm.
doubt is there in that achievable component, that has to be addressed through behavioral flexibility. The behavioral flexibility comes in between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So naturally you have to have rapport with all these three. Like you have to have rapport with the sensory awareness, the calibration part, the outcome part, and the behavioral flexibility, so that you yourself need to bring in that behavioral flexibility to achieve that outcome.
Hmm.
Every outcome that you have achieved in your life till date is actually a result of these three pillars of NLP and your rapport with all these three pillars of NLP.
Yeah.
You have complete clarity about sensory awareness, you have complete clarity about outcome orientation, and you have complete clarity about behavioral flexibility. You have already done that in your past.
Hmm.
Now you can decode those success uh, that you have achieved in your life. Wherever you got success, you can actually decode it. You can actually figure out, yes, exactly this is what I did. Exactly this is what I did. And now as you discover your success patterns, it will become very easy for you to apply. You know, in NLP, there's nothing called failure. Failures are all feedback in NLP. And naturally, it's a feedback mode. Like Thomas Alva Edison, he tried 1,000 times to produce a bulb, to invent bulb, to invent a wire made of a material, made of an element, which can glow when an electricity is passed through. So he tried many elements, and eventually he came up with an element which is tungsten. Tungsten is an element, a metal.
I think his quote was like, I did not fail to make I did not fail 1,000 times trying to make a bulb. I just found 1,000 ways not to make a bulb. How not to make a bulb.
Exactly. That's what feedback is all about. So
Yeah.
in NLP, there is nothing called failure. It's all about feedback.
Hmm.
So if there is nothing called failure exists, if it's only feedback, then wherever you have failed in any area of your life while attempting anything, wherever you have failed, in the language of NLP, it means that you have become a successful being a failure in that area. You successfully failed. That's why you failed. You did everything to ensure that you failed. Probably you didn't focus on the will part and those components which came in your way, and eventually you failed. So you become successful in being a failure in that area. And now you just decode it, what you did to become successful, to be a failure in that area. Apply the same technique and then you will become successful in whatever you want to become successful. Strategy is the same. So NLP gives you that power to decode your failures and discover how you become successful in becoming a failure in that area. And you will discover that wherever you have become successful to become successful, and wherever you have become successful to become a failure, the process is exactly the same. The strategy was exactly the same. You didn't apply the behavioral flexibility that was needed to become successful. So the result was becoming a failure. It's as simple as that.
So you'll be sharing this photo on the group, right?
I will share it in this group only. Absolutely. It's already
Yeah.
recorded, so you will get it there also. All right. So the session has come to an end. I have overshoot by 3 minutes. If you have any questions to ask me, you can ask me right away.
I don't think so, sir.
Cool. Even do not use the word that I don't think so. You said this is itself is so exciting that I'm literally hunting for questions. किसी भी हालत में सबकॉन्शियस को ये मैसेज नहीं देना कि मुझे नहीं मालूम मैं क्या करूं, मुझे नहीं मालूम मैं क्या पूछूं. Do not allow your subconscious to get into that mode ever. That I see eventually what you are telling yourself that I don't know what to ask now. You know? So avoid using the don't word. So you can see here, there are definitely some questions which are coming up in my mind, but I will ask you later. This is not the right time to ask. So you address things diplomatically. All right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So I'll share it with in the group. This picture also will share in the group. And again, I have also picked it from the same manual which I shared yesterday, from where I learned this NLP technology from my mentors. So
yeah,
this credit goes to my mentors who have designed this manual, Dr. Meenush Raderia and Mr. Pawan Bhattat. Okay. So that's it from my side. And Sumit and Jessica, if you have any questions for me, you can ask me right away, or we can close this session.
Right now, sir, I have I'm going to ask question whenever it comes in my mind. Presently, I'm okay with it, whatever you have told.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the session today. Okay, so let's close this session and enjoy the evening.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Pinaki.
Bye.